How's everybody? Did Sid have 30 years? He suddenly made me feel very, very old. Anyway, delighted to be here with you in beautiful Las Vegas. And when people think of Las Vegas, there's probably three things that they think about. Casinos, neon lights, and maybe questionable life choices, right? Some of you, I saw you there last night. But what you might not know is that Las Vegas is one of the most innovative cities in the country. In fact, Las Vegas was one of the first US cities to use AI for city operations. Super interesting, right? So as an example, they have rolled out AI-powered traffic systems that adjust the lights in real time. This helps reduce congestion, travel times, and emissions. And to me, it's an example of smart, responsive, and human-centered innovation, which is exactly the type of innovation that we're going to talk about here today. So I'm excited to share our 2025 product vision and roadmap. But before we dive into specifics, I want to talk a little bit about our vision, right? What are we trying to achieve with our products for you? And why does it matter? And to explain that, I'm going to use a little bit of a metaphor, right? Metaphors are great because they make complex ideas easier to understand, and they connect new or sometimes abstract concepts to something familiar. And in my mind, what we are building here is the nervous system of experience, right? I see Medallia as filling this role within your ecosystem. Medallia continuously gathers feedback from all channels. It can be touch, it can be sound, it can be sight. And just like the human body, it perceives and responds to the signals. All those signals travel through the nervous system into the brain, which is AI and analytics. And the brain processes that information intelligently. It identifies patterns, it predicts outcomes, and decides on the best course of action. The spinal cord, which is sort of the automated workflows, enables real-time reflexes and immediate responses so that the organizations can adapt, learn, and improve the experiences seamlessly, right? And those same nerves conduct the signals to the muscles, which are the execution systems. The nerves will trigger action in those muscles, and the muscles can be people in your front lines or can be systems as well. Think of Salesforce.com or ServiceNow or the Adobe Marketing Cloud. All of those are muscles in this metaphor or analogy, right? The goal ultimately is to drive seamless execution and impact when it comes to customer experience and experience in general. So our role is a little bit to drive this virtuous cycle, right? From data to insights to action. Those actions generate more data, better insights, better actions, and it's this constant loop, right? And you're going to say, Fabrice, well, we've been hearing this for 20 years, right? It's been called listen, analyze, and act, or listen, understand, and act. What's new, right? I believe that this is the right vision to begin with. It's absolutely what we need to do and what we're all embarked on together. But there is something that has changed, and Mark and Sid referred to it. We are at a very important and crucial technological inflection point. And we finally have the tools to fully realize this vision. Think about the state of affairs today, right? You have an experience, you fill a survey, your survey response relies on your recollection of what that experience was. Maybe the experience happened a couple of days ago. Your feedback is going to go to somebody as part of a dashboard or some insights. They're going to look at that dashboard and decide to take action. And the action will probably take another 2 to 3 days, maybe a week, right? So what we're talking about is that this data to insights to action cycle could take about a couple of weeks, in cases even more, right? So our role, and I think this is really our fundamental role at Medallia and as we partnered with you, is to accelerate this cycle, right? From action to more data, to more insights, to faster action, so that ultimately it is happening at the speed of thought. And this is very important, right? For that to happen, we have to have a very solid foundation. And that's exactly what we have here at Medallia. We are the industrial strength operational customer experience platform. And that gives us a very unique position to deliver on this promise, right? And Mark gave you some statistics, right? On average, Medallia connects to 35 operational systems. On average. Sometimes we have even more, right? Just in the past 12 months, we processed 3.2 billion feedback signals. Those are chats, survey responses, calls, emails, right? That is about 100 feedback signals per second. Imagine all the signals that we've processed in just the seconds that I've been talking, thousands and thousands and thousands. That is industrial strength operational customer experience. And as Mark mentioned, we have 1.2 daily active AI users on our platform, getting insights and driving action and driving change. That is amazing, and we're going to build on top of that. So you can see some of the great things that have happened. Not only that, but we actually put out almost 100 different innovations in the past 12 months. 100 impactful innovations that came directly from you, right? You had feature requests, you had things that you needed in order to improve your customer experience and employee experience programs. Well, we delivered. We have something like agile research. Mark talked a little bit about it. We know that Medallia is known for its industrial strength operational experience management, but we also heard your feedback. You needed self-service, quick surveys, research, analytics, and have all of that directly within the Medallia Experience Cloud. And that's exactly what Agile Research is. You can quickly launch one-off surveys and research projects directly from MEC, and the adoption has been absolutely incredible. 500% increase in customers using AR in just the past few months. That's amazing. We also released Action Plan many-to-one tagging. That's a significant game-changing improvement to the way you track outer loop initiatives. You heard Sid talk about those, right? It allows you to link any number of relevant records to a single action plan so that you can better track your systemic improvement programs. Or here's another great one, in-app video surveys. Those allow you to directly capture feedback on the go from your mobile application. And it gives you deeper insight into your customers' emotions and sentiment. And because we're Medallia, it includes automatic transcription, text analytics processing, highly accurate processing, and the feedback is attached to the customer profile so that it can be actioned upon later on. And here's another great one, enhanced coaching reporting. This is for contact center coaches. It allows you to easily understand your one-on-one coaching session history at a glance, and also track important action items that came from previous coaching sessions so that you can begin coaching sessions immediately and very efficiently with a single click. So that's, again, a lot of the innovation that happened in just the past 12 months, but now let's talk about what is now available, right? We have a very exciting recent batch of AI and Gen AI features, and they not only demonstrate our commitment to innovation and omni-channel value generation, but I think they also align incredibly well with our vision, and I'll let you guys be the judges. So let's start with a couple of really exciting innovations on Medallia DXA. That's our digital experience analytics product. The first one is what we call prescriptive digital experience insights. So DXA not only gives you crisp and useful insights into digital experience issues, but with this feature, it will also tell you prescriptive insights. It will tell you exactly and give you precise recommendations on how to fix the issues that we have tracked with the product. That is incredible from a speed to action perspective, right? When we talk about accelerating that cycle. Here's another really good one. It's called digital session summarization. Gen AI is fantastic at summarizing things, right? So what DXA does here is that it generates a short and concise digital session summary for you. And that allows you to quickly understand the key behavioral events for each digital experience session without having to watch the session replay. So incredible from a productivity perspective. Let me show you a quick demonstration of the feature. So it starts in the Medallia Experience Cloud. I am a digital experience specialist or a customer experience analyst at a bank, and I'm looking for how to close the loop with customers who have had issues. I look at the third item there, and it sounds like there's a customer maybe stuck in the application process. So that's interesting. That's what it's telling me. I'm going to click on it, and it's going to give me the detail of that specific feedback and that specific interaction. And yes, you can look at the website URL. They were actually in the home loans page. It's an extremely high value page for the bank. That's where the business comes from. So I scroll down and I can see that there's a replay session available right there. It's being captured by Medallia DXA. And DXA is the product that I just described, Digital Experience Analytics. It captures hundreds of digital signals to score every single aspect of your site or your mobile app experience. And it spotlights exactly where to focus to improve that experience on your app or website. Right, so let's click on that. It takes us to DXA, from the Medallia Experience Cloud to DXA. On the right side, you can see the actual session replay. So I could hit replay and watch the entire session, but that's going to take time. What's beautiful about summarization is that it will take all of the interaction points and highlight the most important and impactful ones, right? So I can see, because of the trend, that the score hit its lowest page on the home application page. I can read the quick summary here, and if I scroll a little bit down, it's going to show me that actually there's a stock on screen loop in the home applications page, right? Stock on screen means this please wait, never ending. You've been there, right? Where you are trying to do something and the website is completely unresponsive. Well, now we know exactly what is happening thanks to the summary, and we can alert the operations or the web team or drive an automation from there so that they can test and fix. Maybe it's a browser issue, maybe it's a code issue on the page, so they can stop losing high-value loan applications. So that is digital session summaries. Now let's talk about a couple of really cool contact center innovations, starting with coaching intelligence. Coaching intelligence, again, using Gen AI enables managers to spend less time preparing and more time delivering valuable guidance that is both personalized and on point for the agent. It connects all the dots between scattered metrics and anecdotal feedback and provides, again, a Gen AI-driven recommendation for coaching topics that are personalized to each agent based on their call history, based on their personality, and based on the calls that they're getting, right? So let me show you a demonstration of this feature. Again, here we are going to show you how coaching intelligence saves critical time for team leads, right? So Seth is the team lead for a Fortune 500 retailer, and he's preparing for a one-on-one session with Mark, one of his team members. And Seth has drafted a one-to-one coaching agenda using Agent Connect. Agent Connect is Medallia's agent coaching and quality assurance product that helps Seth eliminate hours and hours spent on preparation. It gives him key metrics, goals, and tasks for each team member, very personalized. And so to start, Seth has a little bit of pointers, and he's looking at things, but also the tool is giving him a quick summary of the previous sessions. He can see everything that happened, and he can see that Mark had a good week, but need to unwind came up. And it's actually contributing to trouble de-escalating calls. So let's see what our Gen AI functionality has to bear. So Gen AI here, coaching intelligence, looks at different aspects and makes very specific suggestions. The second one there is particularly interesting. Work on proactive communication with customers by keeping them informed and setting proper expectations. That's a great one. Seth just with one click adds it to the agenda. And now Seth is ready. He has a full agenda with personalized recommendations for Mark, and he's ready to go. Once that is ready, Seth has done his prep. Very easy, he scrolls to the top, and he turns into coaching mode. That creates a one-pager that is shareable, so that he can have the one-on-one session with Mark. And once they're done, just a button click will send all the notes and important actions to Mark. That's incredible from a productivity perspective. And what's even better is that the adoption of this feature and your feedback, your early adopter feedback, has been incredibly encouraging. Take a look at this. This is a quote directly from one of you. Team leaders now have more specific, relevant, and timely feedback to deliver at any time. 100% of our early participants said that the responses of smart coaching, coaching intelligence, I need to get the run right, were perfect from security requirements, right? We spent a lot of time making sure that we filter out toxicity, profanity, PII information. That's what it means to be operational and industry grade, right? We're not just throwing the data to a Gen AI model. We have spent a lot of time refining it and make sure that it generates value. And as a product person, honestly, nothing gives me more satisfaction and pride than seeing our customers give us this type of feedback and adopt our innovations. So really, really a very sincere and heartwarming thank you to those early adopters who helped us shape and mature this amazing feature. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you very much. So here's another really great contact center Gen AI feature. We call it intelligent summaries, and Mark talked about it, right? Intelligent summaries automatically generates a summary of a call or a conversation with all the context that you need to act quickly. The Gen AI summaries are automatically populated into the feedback records and also dashboard views so that you can quickly access them and, again, get going with your job. And here, too, the adoption has been really, really encouraging. These are just a few quotes from you. I'm impressed and love the feature. The summary and resolution detection are highly accurate. I was quite impressed with the resolution outcome. It is very accurate. And again, we have spent a lot of time making sure these models are accurate for you. 100% of the early adopters said that intelligent summaries were easy to use. That's incredible. Now let's look at some of our omni-channel innovations. We have 3 of them that I'm very excited about. And the first one is what we call Smart Response. Smart Response uses Gen AI to create personalized responses out of any type of feedback, right? Again, it can be a survey response, it can be a conversation. We are going to allow you to easily and quickly close the loop, but in a way that is very empathetic. And that is what makes this feature very unique and important. And same thing here, right? When you look at our early adopters and the people who have started using this feature, the feedback is super, super encouraging. The AI understood exactly what the guest was talking about and personalized the response to respond perfectly. 80% reduction in response time as a result of deploying this feature. And that's your feedback. Again, it's really, really encouraging. So again, I find this feedback, your feedback, very, very encouraging. It tells me as the product person that we are focusing on the right applications of Gen AI, and more importantly, that you are finding value from those innovations. So thank you again. Okay. Oh, thank you. I'll take the applause. By the way, you know, I'm here just presenting this to you, but the applause goes to that man right there, Robert Baca. He's our CTO, and his R&D team, so yes. None of this is possible without the great work that these guys do day in and day out. So this is a really great one, Themes with Gen AI. There's nothing like it. It's a new version of Themes. It's way more precise in the way it detects emerging trends on any type of data. Again, it can be survey responses, but it can also be conversational data. And it gives you a highly detailed, human-friendly label. And what's great about this new feature or new version of Themes too is that you have a much more frequent refresh cadence so that you can always be up to speed with what is happening in the market. I haven't been with you guys lately, so let me go here. Last feature, Root Cause Assist. This is a very important one, very exciting. And you guys heard about Ask Athena last year, right? As we were doing our research and doing early betas with Ask Athena, one of the most prevalent feedback items that we were getting was that it was way too open-ended, right? We needed to deal with security, with data access, and so that really your most pressing need was to bring immediate value to the front line with an easy-to-understand root cause analysis. Don't make me navigate a dashboard, just make it easy for me to understand what is going on and go on with my day. So that's exactly what Root Cause Assist does. It answers the most pressing business questions with unparalleled speed and simplicity, directly from the dashboards and reports that you know and love. It will automatically generate a summarized root cause analysis with the ability to quickly drill down if you need to have more details. And again, the feedback has been incredible. Root Cause Assist will reduce the time spent analyzing multiple reports. The summary is concise and effectively highlights key driver anomalies, trends, and score changes. Again, these are directly your quotes as you have adopted this feature, which is fantastic from my perspective. And finally, before we close, let's look a little bit at the future, right? All the enhancements that we just covered, those magnificent 7, are very aligned with our vision, right? Of accelerating the data to insights to action virtuous cycle. And also, you can see that there are clearly stepping stones towards that ultimate goal of being your organization's nervous system of experience. What this means is that from a data perspective, in order to accelerate that cycle, we will be focusing on the broadest possible native and near real-time signal capture. We're going to be developing much more connectors to operational systems and bringing the data in real time so that you can feed that nervous system, right? That beautiful McLaren that Mark showed. Second, from an insight perspective, we're going to focus on fewer dashboards and more conversational, easy-to-use interfaces, right? We are in the age of Gen AI. That's the expectation, and that's what we plan to deliver for you, and we are well underway, as you saw. And finally, from an actionability, ROI focus, right? The actions that we're going to drive are meant to generate value. Value in terms of providing better experiences to your employees, to your customers, to your citizens. If you're a government agency, that's our focus, right? And to understand the world that we envision, let me paint for you 3 quick vignettes that illustrate what this would mean for 3 key personas. One persona, the contact center agent, the other one, a store manager in the front lines, and then number 3, an executive on the go. So we're going to start with the contact center agent. This is Nicole. This contact center has deployed Mindful, so she's getting ready for a callback, and she wants to have all the information she's going to need in order to have a very successful call with the customer. So the first thing she gets is the full profile. The customer is Emma Lee. She's a very important customer. She owns a checking account, a savings account, a brokerage account, and also has a credit card with us. And because we're Medallia, this bank has also deployed DXA, right? So we know that this customer visited the website trying to change their address, and it was a frustrating interaction. So we got a high frustration score. From the website and from DXA, we also know that there was a chat interaction. Once she couldn't resolve the change address, she went into chat, but it was still unresolved. And the chat recommended that she call the contact center. And of course, we have a beautiful summary that lets Nicole know everything that happened with that customer. And if it wasn't enough, to make sure that Nicole is really ready to handle that call, we are giving her 3 recommended actions. Make sure that you greet Emma and thank her for being a VIP customer. Ask Emma if she recently tried to change her home address. Keep in mind this could be a fraudulent call. And if this is the case, let Emma know that you can help, but before you can help her, you are going to need to verify her identity. And there's a button directly there to an operational system with all the instructions of how to do that identity verification. So you can see our goal is to really accelerate that feedback loop and make sure that Nicole is always prepared to give her customers excellent experiences. Now let's talk about the front line, right? This is Deronte. He's a store manager. His job is to manage a store, not to look at dashboards, not to drill around, not to interpret charts. He's fantastic at managing a store, but he's not a data analyst, and he doesn't want to be, right? So what can we do for him? We're really going to simplify his life. We're going to show him 2 things that he needs to focus on right now as he begins his day. Number 1, we notice a 20% uptrend in return rates for Good Home Smart TV, and the main reason for return is not working as expected. Think about it. All of you guys, if you're a retailer, you have that data in your system now. So we're going to make it more actionable and more concise. So Deronte also gets some recommended actions. There's 3 things that he can try. Number 1, inspect the current inventory. Maybe we have a defective inventory. He should also consider providing additional training for the sales staff because we might be setting the incorrect expectations for the customers, which leads them to return the product. And number 3, he can consider adjusting the return policy, right? So 3 very concrete actions that he can try to fix this situation. Second item, 17% uptrend in complaints about long checkout lines in the store. Again, this is easy feedback that we're gathering day in, day out using Medallia, right? So what to do about it? What are the recommended actions? Number one, activate additional self-checkout lanes. Number two, think about deploying additional staff to the registers. Again, very concrete actions that can quickly address the situation and the poor customer experiences that are happening in the Ronte store. Let's go to the last one. This is an executive. This executive is busy, on the road, doesn't necessarily have time to absorb a full 10-slide PowerPoint with all the statistics and graphs. He's not going to go onto either a mobile application or a dashboard. So how can we give value to this executive? Well, alerts, right? Again, Gen AI is fantastic at summarizing situations and bubbling those up. So the exec will get an alert. Our system has detected a significant increase in return rates for a specific product, the Altura ergonomic chair in this case, over the past month. This trend might impact Q1 revenue, margins, and customer satisfaction, so it needs to be addressed urgently. And of course, there's a few actions that we can recommend. Number one, investigate the top return reasons. And again, those are all within the Medallia Experience Cloud, so he can just click on that and look at those. Or review the quality control results. Maybe there are legitimate defects, and he can click on a button to view the quality report in a third system. We have all the connections, remember that, right? And because this is a conversational interface, it offers up the choice. Is there anything else you would like to know? And very quickly, interactively, the exec says, yeah, actually, there's something I would love to know. Can you help me identify the common characteristics of customers who returned the product last month? And because they have deployed Agile Research, of course, they have all that information in the Medallia Experience Cloud. And very quickly, we tell this executive, well, most returns came from a very particular age group, ages 25 to 34. And not only that, but 75% of the returns were from online orders, with the highest amount being ordered on mobile devices. And give him all the details on return reasons. Again, all of this data is in the Medallia systems today. What we're going to do is bubble it up faster and in a more digestible manner for the executive. So hopefully these vignettes give you a good idea of what we're thinking about the future. And it's not a very distant future, right? As you can see, we are well on the way towards realizing that vision. And the acceleration of AI and Gen AI technologies is this inflection point that I mentioned earlier, right? For our industry, for every single industry. But again, in order to be truly valuable and transformational, those technologies need to be built on an incredibly strong foundation. And I sincerely, truly believe that our foundation here at Medallia, as the industry's industrial strength operational experience management, places us in a very unique position to really deliver on this promise. So for me, there is a very bright and exciting future for experience management, and I invite you all to build it together. I'm very excited to be here and to collaborate and work with all of you. Thanks again.